St. Johns County Commissioners vote to extend County Administrator's contract despite strong objections from one member. Tensions flared once again between St. Johns County Administrator Joy Andrews and Commissioner Krista Joseph during Tuesday's Board of County Commissioners meeting, this time over whether to extend Andrews' contract. Despite the debate, commissioners voted 3-2 to extend Andrews' contract 3 more years through 2030. The conversation was sparked after it was revealed Andrews applied for a similar position in Palm Beach County, a move that concerned Commissioner Christian Whitehurst, who placed the item on the agenda. Andrews told the board she later withdrew her application and wants to remain in St. Johns County. Regardless of the differences of opinion, I'm here to stay, Andrews said, citing her commitment to the county staff, her family, and the community. Whitehurst initially suggested a 6-year extension to promote stability, but the board ultimately settled on a 3-year deal. Commissioner Chair Krista Josephs and Commissioner Ann Taylor voted against the extension. Joseph argued that performance should take priority over stability, citing unresolved issues with the county's trash hauler, hurricane readiness, comprehensive plan, tree code, and development in World Golf Village. Maybe in September, when these things are finished, I'd be all for talking about this, Joseph said. Joseph previously called for a vote of no confidence on Andrews back in January, criticizing her leadership on solid waste service rollout and other key county issues. Meanwhile, multiple residents and commissioners spoke in support of Andrews, praising her commitment to the community, accessibility, and track record of delivering projects like the Hastings Community Center Library. Andrews, who has served the county for nearly 20 years, was hired as administrator in 2023 with a salary of around $300,000. All right.
All right. So I was there.
Okay.
I wasn't planning on talking, but I ended up talking.
All right.
And it was the morning was a huge support, a lot of turnout for Joy, and I've known Joy, and when I got up and spoke, I was kind of sitting there, and I was like, all right, the 3 of the 4 people that are sitting in the administration seats, I was there the very first day they started work.
Yeah.
One of them I hired. So, I mean, so I have, a lot of attachment to him. And I was realizing, I mean, these 3 of these 4, Brad came along later, and Brad's a super nice guy, but I don't have the same relationship I have with the other 3. Mm-hmm. And I'm sitting there, I'm going, these guys have grown and they love St. Johns County. Mm-hmm. All right. And the person that's being so critical, I don't feel that same love for St. Johns County. Yeah. So it was one of those things where it's like, I know these 3 love it, mm-hmm. and they're working as a team. Yeah. And I'm looking at the board up there, mm-hmm. and they're not working as a team. Yeah. There's 5 of them. They got to figure that out. This is a $1.7 billion company. Yeah. That they're running. And for it to be successful, they need to work as a team, and mm-hmm. they got to figure that out. And they really do. It's kind of rough to do the way they're doing it. Is it's 2-2, and then Clay's got to be the tiebreaker every single time. That's a lot of pressure on the person.
That's so much pressure.
That's a lot of pressure on the person. So
keep Clay in your prayers.
I'm encouraged by the support that St. Johns County gave to Joy. Mm-hmm. But there's still some work to be done. At the board level, and I hope they figure it out. So.
You called for everyone to be nice yesterday. Did you see niceness?
Yeah, I called for them to be nice, and even after I called for them to be nice, there was still some personal anger that flew out, and when it came to agenda item 2, because I spoke during the general public comment, but I stayed for agenda item 2, and mm-hmm. It's still got very personal, and it needs to be professional and not personal.
Yeah, so, I agree.
So, but that's my thoughts of yesterday. But I'm happy. I hope the negotiations go well. Mm-hmm. It's not over. I mean, they still have to negotiate what's in that contract. They just kind of put a time limit and said, this mm-hmm. is what we want. There's still negotiations and some of the other things that have to take place in this process.
It would be nice if they would all get their emotions in check and mm-hmm. just have a reasonable discussion about everything. And we've got an extension. We know that's happening. So now let's just be reasonable about shoring up those details so we can move forward doing the work of the county.
Yeah. I mean, I played team sports all my life. You didn't always like
Yeah.
all your teammates.
Yeah.
But you know what? When it came time to play the game,
Mhm.
they were your teammates.
Yeah.
You know, somebody throws at them, you're going to fight the other team.
Yeah.
You know, and it's they need to figure out that mentality.
That's why there's a word for friends
Mhm.
and there's a word for teammates.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's why there's two
They're not
separate.
necessarily the same thing, and
They're not
that's
necessarily-
okay.
You know, and I say that jokingly, but it is one of my old teammates, and I'm my high school baseball team. My phone's blowing up over here. It's Eddie's birthday, so Eddie, happy birthday! The 9th best shortstop in Stetson
Happy
history.
birthday, Eddie.
So
9th best. That ain't bad.
ninth best. Well, that's the title he gave himself.
All right.
So because I thought he was
I love
10th.
humility.
I thought he was 10th.
Wow. What were you?
I
Second,
played at Flagler.
third? What was that?
I
The
played at
second or
Flagler.
third recruit?
I was actually the first recruit, even though they say I was the second at Flagler for Dave
Yeah.
Barnett. So
Okay.
yeah, so I was the first recruit that made it through an entire year for sure.
Oh. All right. A little salty.
No, the other guy that he said didn't. You got to go to class.
What? No way.
Even ball players got to go to class.
You at
So-
least have to show up.
Yeah, you got to
Make an
show up.
appearance.
You got to somewhat
Give
stay
the little
conscious.
cheers to your people.
Yeah, you got to stay conscious.
All
So-
right.